Hello, everyone. So a major part of 201 Writing Essentials is a research paper. This semester, I thought it would be helpful to have a specific platform in mind to direct your research toward. So Google Doodle might be a very fun platform to think about because we use Google all the time. Some days when you type in google.com, you'll be directed to a website that has an illustration of some kind. For whatever reason, this illustration is not featured today, but know that if you go to google.com/doodles, you'll find a new social figure or a holiday that is commemorated every day. And it's always fascinating to learn about the individuals that or who have made an impact in the world. If you want a shortcut, if you're tired of hearing me talk today, I recommend watching the two videos that discuss the behind the scenes of how a Google Doodle is created, what exactly it is. This video, which is on the syllabus, features Audre Lorde, a New York poet, and there's a discussion with the illustrator and the work that she ended up creating, and a kind of a brilliant summary of Audre Lorde's life as well. And there is a lot of research that goes into understanding any significant social figure, and that's what we're really practicing in this class. Research and quickly presenting salient information about an individual who's had a large impact. The other video also on the syllabus is about Rodolfo Gonzalez. His nickname was Corky. He was a boxer. Let's see if I can find. He was a boxer turned poet turned activist. And the video interviews his family members as well as the designer for this Google Doodle. That is the designer. And she discusses her process informed by research of Corky's life. If you want a more thorough description of what is expected, go to assignments, and then number 7 is the Google Doodle research paper. Key things to note, it is 6 pages, it's double spaced. 6 pages might seem like a lot, it truly isn't when it's double spaced. You will quickly find, especially if you find a social figure who you've always been curious about, or say you're studying African-American literature, there is someone who you always wanted to know more about, you will quickly find that 6 pages might not even be, it might be too few pages. So 6 pages, double spaced. I ask that the figure has not been represented before. So Google, if you want to do a Google Doodle on Toni Morrison, type into Google, Toni Morrison Google Doodle, and confirm whether or not that has already been done. Let's see, you can familiarize on these links if you want to know more about like how they choose who to commemorate, what's maybe they have research tips. You can click either of these links. We're practicing skills of research, lateral and critical thinking. Lateral is also known as creative thinking. So 2 types of thinking, all while implementing the best writing principles learned throughout this class. So principles of concision, to be compulsion, and clarity. Concision, compulsion, clarity, to write clear, compelling, and concisely, as well as empathy, purpose, rewriting, using the zero draft checklist, There are so many writing principles to apply, and this assignment is an opportunity to do so. Okay. In presenting whoever you choose, some key questions you can ask. What were the challenges that individual or the group faced? Why should they be known by more people? How and where did they make whatever it was that made them famous? If it's a painter you want to know more about, you can emphasize how they made the painting. If it's an activist or a politician you're curious about, you can discuss what was unique about their strategy in creating social change. Maybe you want to profile an athlete, you can talk about what she or he did that was unique and made them remarkable among athletes. And I always like this question at the end. What would the world be like without this person? You could probably write more than one paper about answering that question. The timeline by the end of week 2, please upload a outline of what you want to write about for this final assignment. We're starting, it is kind of the capstone assignment for this course, so we're starting early. Brainstorming is just the outline / brainstorm document. Only I will have access to it. You will be uploading it through assignments. You hit assignments, individual student folders. You'll find your folder and then just upload it there. Don't worry about formatting. You are just brainstorming at this point. You can send me videos, send me images. You can maybe have a bullet point of what you want to write about. Depending on how far you get, you might even have a 1 through 12 numbered list. You know, in paragraph 7, I'm going to write about this. In paragraph 10, I'm going to write about that. But the point is to really get brainstorming on this final project. And then you can see the timeline for the other weeks. This is due by Wednesday, January 26, 2021. You don't have to follow a specific style guide. If you feel more comfortable following one, I recommend Chicago or MLA. Either way, style guides are all about clarity. They're not about policing grammar. They are more about making a document as clear and for the reader as possible and making the flow of communication as frictionless as possible. That's the whole point of a style guide. So I will not be taking off points if you don't cite something in MLA, for instance. I'm more concerned about the content for sure, but I will say I'm also concerned about basic presentation. You know, how you present your writing is as important as what you write about. People will glance at a paper, and if there are only 2 giant blocks of text, that is very off-putting, and it goes against most style guides, which suggest, you know, after 5 sentences, you should consider a new paragraph, for instance. Okay. As far as research expectations, please include at least 2 sources that are academic sources or primary sources. So an academic source can be, here, I'll go to that in a second. An academic source could be, let's see, the Journal of Sociology, something that is peer reviewed. a primary source might be the 1930 census or some kind of government document that is a primary source. Academic sources are not BuzzFeed, and primary sources are not, let's see, what's often confused for a primary source. It's not excuse me, a primary source is not an encyclopedia. There we go, I said it. As far as research expectations, along with the two academic or primary sources, please include two highly reputable sources from news organizations. So the following newspapers are kind of renowned for having fact check departments, for being accountable. When they mess up, they issue corrections the next day. So these are reliable sources. They are not infallible by any means, but they have journalists who are well trained and ethical. So these are the places to go. I would avoid, Wikipedia, shoop.com, Cliff Notes. What's another one? TMZ, probably don't want TMZ. Okay. If you want more guidance or just curious about who are the other figures that have been celebrated on these Google Doodles, here are a few. You could have fun with a cartoon figure. Maybe you want to profile SpongeBob for this Google Doodle. Google has done Pac-Man, so you could do SpongeBob. If there's a musician, Google has done the singer of Queen, Freddie Mercury. Maybe you want to do the lead singer of Destiny's Child. I don't think they have done Beyonce yet. If you're into architecture, you might want to find an architect you admire. If you are a finance major, perhaps there's a business person who you want to know more about. Okay, I think that's everything for the Google Doodle. Please watch these two videos. These are amazing people, and the videos themselves are rather interesting. Okay, feel free to send me questions if you need to view this video again. It will be here under links to videos week 2. And of course, I am available on WhatsApp or via email. Take care.